We continue our study in Pirkei Avot. Right now, we are in chapter 2 of the Book of the Fathers, and we will start today from Mishnah number 9. Last time we finished we concluded with the sayings of Hillel, the great sage. And the great sage Hillel, the last one of his disciples, according to what our sages say, is Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, the great luminary of the generation at the time when the temple was destroyed, the second temple. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai was the teacher of all teachers. He was the teacher of Rabbi Eliezer, teacher of Rabbi Tarfon, and others, and Rabbi Eliezer. So let's see what Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai has to tell us. Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai kibel mehillel umishamai. As you know, we are bringing here the sages who received the tradition of the Torah and will be responsible to transmit it to the next generation. Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai received the tradition, of course, from his teacher Hillel, but at the same time also Shammai. Hillel and Shammai were the last couples who were the masters of the generation. So Rabbi Yochanan was the one who received the tradition from them. Hu haya omer. He used to say, Im lamata Torah harbe, al tahazik tova le'atzmecha, ki lekach notzarta. He used to say, let's say you learned plenty of Torah. Do not become haughty. Do not take credit for yourself. Why? Ki lekach notzarta. Because that's the reason why you were born. Oh boy, what a great teaching here. I mean, we were all born in this world for the purpose to study Torah. Let me suggest here another thought. In the Talmud in Masechet Nida, on page 30, it says there that even when you are in the womb of your mother, before you are born, in those 9 months, the fetus, when he is in the womb of his mother, what does he do? Our sages said he learns Torah. Of course, it has to be taken spiritually. He learns Torah, he learns all the Torah, which means in 9 months he covers all the Torah that can be learned by any human being, even by Moshe Rabbeinu. But exactly at the time when he is out of the womb of his mother, an angel comes, he gives him a slap under his nose, and he makes him forget all the Torah that he learned. Now, of course, you might ask the question, if he makes him forget all the Torah that he learned, then why did he bother to learn the Torah before? In the womb of his mother. The answer is because the Torah requires that you exert yourself for it. If you come out from the womb of your mother knowing all the Torah, then to know the Torah in this world will not be really that important. What gives importance to the Torah is when you apply your efforts, when you exert yourself for it. That's what gives importance to your knowledge of Torah. Therefore, he said, Im lamata Torah harbe, if you learn a lot, there are many people who have learned a gigantic amount of Torah. I could mention names. Al tachzik tova le'atzmecha. Do not take credit as though you deserve everything. No, because that's the reason. You just fulfilled the reason for which you were born. What a great thing for each one of us to know. If a person doesn't learn Torah at all in his life, then he did not justify his existence. This is what I understand from this. Now, in Mishnah number 10, the Pirkei Avot tells us that Rabban Yochanan ben Zakkai had 5 great disciples. Hamisha talmidim hayu lo leRabban Yochanan ben Zakkai ve'eluhem. And these are those 5 famous disciples. Of course, there is a reason why we chose. I mean, he had hundreds of disciples, but those were the great ones, which every day when you study Talmud, there is not one day that you don't deal with the words that were said by these coming great people. 5 disciples. The first one is Rabbi Eliezer ben Hurkenus. One word about Rabbi Eliezer ben Hurkenus. When he was born into a family of very rich people, but his father did not pay attention to education of Torah to give to his son. But his son was intelligent. For a while, when he was young, he understood that he was an ignoramus. That made him very sad. Every time his father comes to him and he said to him, Eliezer, what's the matter with you? Why are you so sad? You want more slaves to come to serve you? You want more possessions? I'll give you. But the boy said, no. Leave me alone, Abba. In Pirkei Rabbi Eliezer, it says that one day he decided to leave the house of his father and he went into the yeshiva of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. And there he stayed a while, absorbing as many teachings as possible. To make a story short, he became a luminary of Israel. And then he became very famous. And the day he came, when his father heard about him, he didn't even know it's his son. But when he realized that that's his son, then he gave him the inheritance of all his possessions. Rabbi Eliezer, the son of Horkanos. Horkanos is his father. There's much more to say about Rabbi Eliezer, but as you see, time is extremely short. The second one was Rabbi Yehoshua ben Hanania. Rabbi Yehoshua ben Hanania, the great luminary in the time of Rabban Gamliel, in the great time of the sages of the Mishnah. Rabbi Yehoshua, I could say maybe one word about him when there are so many things to be said about him. Rabbi Yehoshua was the counselor of Caesar himself. There's also much more to say about this. Rabbi Yehoshua was the elder of all the Sanhedrin, the 120 sages, the masters of Israel at the time. So Rabbi Yehoshua, the son of Hanania, was the second disciple of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. By the way, Rabbi Yehoshua ben Hanania was the teacher of Elisha ben Avuya, who became famous because he became a non-believer. At the end of his life, Rabbi Yehoshua ben Hanania passed away because of the sadness that his beloved disciple became a wicked man. But that requires a bigger story than that. The third the disciple of Rabbi Yochanan was Rabbi Yossi HaKohen. And the fourth one is Rabbi Shimon ben Netanel. And finally, the fifth one is Rabbi Elazar ben Arach. So now in Mishnah number 11, Rabbi Yochanan himself is going to describe the great character and the praises of these 5 disciples. In a word about each one. Rabbi Eliezer ben Horkenos bor sut she'eno me'abed tipa. Rabbi Eliezer ben Horkenos was like a cemented cistern that does not lose, not even a drop. Which means he had a tremendous capacity to remember everything. Whatever he learned, he remembered, and he never lost anything of whatever he studied. So he compares him to a cistern, to a well that is well cemented. I mean, very much covered, that cannot lose not even a drop of water. Water is usually the parable of Torah, and Mayim ela Torah. The second one is Rabbi Yehoshua ben Hanania. What did he say about him? Well, to tell you the truth, Rabbi Yochanan finds out that there is so much to say about Rabbi Yehoshua that he cannot say much. So therefore he said, Ashrei Yolato. How happy is the mother who gave birth to this child. That says it all. The third one was Rabbi Yossi HaKohen. What was the praise that Rabbi Yochanan referred to him? Chassid. He calls him as a pious person. Now when Rabbi Yochanan calls someone pious, it's not like we call someone pious. It means that he was the paroxysm of piousness. That's Rabbi Yossi HaKohen. The fourth one was Rabbi Shimon ben Netanel. What did Rabbi Yochanan say about him? One word, Yerechet, a God-fearing person. He fears sin. Again, as I said before, if Rabbi Yochanan says about one of his disciples that he was a God-fearing person, by the way, that does not mean that his other disciples were not God-fearing. But Shimon ben Netanel excelled in the trait of the fear of sin. So therefore, he refers to him as the person, the example of all persons on earth regarding the fear of God and fearing sin. Finally, Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, a great man also, the fifth disciple of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, and Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai says about him, Kema'yan hamidgaber. He was like a spring flowing stronger and stronger. In other words, this man was such a great Torah scholar that he was able to always always explain new things, and the more he explains, the more capabilities he had of expanding the thoughts and concepts of the Torah. There is much to say about Rabbi Elazar ben Arach. Unfortunately, Rabbi Elazar ben Arach one day followed the advice of his wife. His wife convinced him to relocate from the land of Israel to a certain place in Greece. And what happened was, as a result of that, he forgot all the knowledge that he had. To the point that the Talmud tells us when he came back to the land of Israel, he was honored to come to the Torah. And when he read the Torah, he made mistakes. And those mistakes, like for example, he was going to read HaChodesh Hazeh Lachem Rosh Chodashim. You know, in the scroll of Torah, the words have no vowels. So when he read HaChodesh, he said HaCheresh, because it looks almost the same. Chodesh means the month. Cheresh means deaf. And the world realized that he lost plenty of his knowledge. That's all I can say about this for now. Hu haya omer. Another saying by Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. He said the following. He continues with the praises of his great disciples. And he said, Im hiyu kol chachmei Israel bekaf moznaim. That's Mishnah number 12. Im hiyu kol chachmei Israel bekaf moznaim. Ve'eliezer ben Hurkenus bekaf shniya. Machriya et kulam. He used to say, if all the wise men of Israel, all the chachamim, all the sages, if they were on one pen of a balance scale, right? And Eliezer ben Hurkenus on the other pen, what do you think would happen? He would outweigh them all. It shows that in the eyes of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, Rabbi Eliezer ben Horkanos was greater than all the sages of his generation. Abba Shaul Omer Mishmo. You know, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai had another disciple which we did not mention before, and his name was Abba Shaul. You know, like Rabbi ben Zion Abba Shaul of today, the famed great man. But Abba Shaul of then, that's more than about 2,000 years ago. So Abba Shaul said, on behalf of Rabbi Yochanan, אם יהיו כל חכמי ישראל בכף מאזניים, ואליעזר בן הורקנוס אף עמהם, ואלעזר בן ערך בכף שנייה, מכריע את כולם. Now that's already a little bit different than what Rabbi Yochanan said. Abba Shaul says, if you put all the sages of Israel on one side of the scale, and you bring also Eliezer ben Horkanos, about whom we said before that he outweighs all of them. But if you put Eliezer ben Horkanos together with the sages on one side of the scale, and then you bring Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, remember the fifth disciple of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, you put him at the time when he was great. It's not the time when he left the land of Israel, as I have mentioned before. But if you put Rabbi Elazar ben Arach on the other side of the scale, he would outweigh all of them. Which means in the eyes of Abba Shaul, Rabbi Elazar ben Arach was the greatest. In the eyes of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, Rabbi Eliezer was the greatest. Now, is it possible that Abba Shaul would say something different than his own teacher? We can always say that it's possible that Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, when he saw the end of the life of Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, so he did not consider him the greatest. He preferred to mention Rabbi Eliezer ben Horkanos. That does not mean that Rabbi Yochanan did not appreciate or did not respect the knowledge of Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, but unfortunately, at the end of the life of Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, that his reputation of great Torah scholar has changed, and that's why he was not mentioned as such by Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. Another teaching of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai in Mishnah 13. Amar lahem, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai said to them, to whom? The 5 disciples that we mentioned before, right? צאור הוא איזוהי דרך טובה שידבק בה האדם. Go out and find out what is the best way, the good path to which a man should cling. Which means what is the best way to take up in this life. So Rabbi Eliezer says, Rabbi Eliezer Omer, Ayin Tova. According to Rabbi Eliezer, the best way is, the best thing to have in life is to have a good eye. Which means to always judge favorably people, charitably people. To always be happy for others. You see someone, he became rich, be happy for him. He acquired more knowledge, he became wiser than all the class, all his classmates, be happy for him. Have a good eye, which is exactly the contrary of what we say, ayin hara, bad eye, which means jealousy. What he means is, to have a good eye means not to be jealous. I think this is the best trait that there is in life. Best trait of character. Rabbi Yehoshua Omer Chaver Tov. Rabbi Yehoshua says, Rabbi Yehoshua ben Hanania, he says, you know what is the best way that one should cling to? A good friend. Let me just suggest that a good friend means a friend of Torah, of course. A nice man who has all the good traits of character is the best for you, because you will learn, you will end up learning from him his best things. And automatically that you have chosen the best. Rabbi Yossi Omer, what is the best way? Rabbi Yossi Omer Shachen Tov, a good neighbor. What is it that he gave us here? I can allow myself to say that a good neighbor is very good, very, very important, Shachen Tov. Because, as King Solomon said in the book of Proverbs, Tov, Shachen Karov mi ahrahuk. It's better to have a nearby neighbor than a brother who is far away from you. So here he says, the best way to cling to it is by having a good neighbor. A good neighbor is the kind of person with whom you are most of the time. So if he is a good person, oh, that's wonderful, because you can learn a lot from him. You know, from a neighbor, you know, you try to respect him, you try to do things, not the contrary of what he does. So it behooves you to also do only what is good. Perhaps it's one way how to explain this. Rabbi Shimon, that is of course Rabbi Shimon ben Netanel, not Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai. Rabbi Shimon ben Netanel is a disciple of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. He says, what is the best way in life? Haro'e et nolad. He says that haro'e et nolad. If one sees the future, who can see the future? What he means to say, one should be wise enough to always think of the outcome of what he is going to do. Before you do something, think what could result from it. If you do this, then you become perfect in everything. Everything that you do, think about it. God forbid you want to commit a sin, maybe take up two minutes before, think about it. Maybe you will, in most of the cases, you will realize that it's not worth it. So, by thinking about the future, what is created from what you are going to do, right, you might prevent a lot of the bad things that happen in life. Rabbi Elazar says, you know what is the best way? Lev tov, a good heart. Well, we could say the same thing else, a good eye. A good heart means that you are happy with people. Anyone makes you happy. Everyone. And you know, by having a good heart, you are liable to become more important in the eyes of people, and you will be able to influence them to do what is right and what is good. Amar lahem. He said to them, I assume it is Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, Ro'e ani et divrei Elazar ben Arach midivrechem, shebichlal devarav divrechem. You know, the last Rabbi Elazar is the last rabbi that we mentioned. That is, don't make a mistake, it's not Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah or another Rabbi Elazar. It's Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, the fifth disciple of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. So Rabbi Yochanan said, I prefer the words of Rabbi Elazar ben Arach more than all the other words. The other suggestions are very good, but the suggestion of Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, who said a good heart is the best way to choose in life, I see that it is the best. Why? Shebichlal devarav divrechem. Because you could find everything that you said in that which Rabbi Elazar ben Arach said. When you have a lev tov, when you have a good heart, you have everything. You have a good eye. You always foresee the future. Otherwise, what kind of good heart it is? Good heart means good intelligence, good understanding, right? When you have a good understanding, I mean, the Mefarshim say that anytime it says lev means heart, but anytime it's mentioned in the Bible, it means the mind. That's the meaning of lev. So if your mind is good, then automatically everything will follow it and will be also good. So everything that was said before is included in what Rabbi Elazar ben Arach said, and that is, of course, lev tov, a good heart. Mishnah 14. Amar lahem. Again, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai said, he said to them, Tseur u ezohi derech ra'a sheyitrachek mimena ha'adam. You know, before we said that he told them, go out and see what is the best way that one should choose and cling to it. Here now he says the opposite. Go out and look and see what is the bad way that one should stay away from it. Rabbi Eliezer Omer, Ayin Ra'a. Rabbi Eliezer is the one who said Ayin Tova for good, the good eye. He says a bad eye is the worst. That's the worst kind of thing, and one should stay away from that, which means no jealousy. When you feel you have jealousy, well, try to uproot it as soon as you can. Otherwise it will become into your heart and it will not budge. It's terrible. Our sages said that a man of jealousy, Rabbeinu Yonah says, a man of jealousy, stay away from him, because it's possible that he has no cure. But when you start having jealousy about someone, you feel some jealousy, well, let's say you hear that your neighbor became a millionaire. Everyone is jealous, right? But you get up immediately. You feel jealousy, but what do? You go to your neighbor and say to him, I'm so happy. It might be a lie. It's possible it's a lie, but it's a good beginning. You tell him, I'm so happy for you. And you hug him and you say, I'm so happy. I feel like if I am rich. Perhaps it's a lie, but it's good. The Mesillat Yesharim says in his book, Achitzoniyut me'oreret et hapnimiyut. The exterior awakens the interior. When you start, you behave as if you were happy, you might become happy. And that's good. So Rabbi Eliezer says, Ayin Ra'a, a bad eye is the worst. What is bad eye? It includes jealousy and many things. Rabbi Yehoshua Omer Chaver Ra'a, exactly the opposite of what he said before. Rabbi Yehoshua says the worst thing is to have a bad friend. Do we understand that? Of course. A bad friend might cause you to do many things that are bad. Rabbi Yossi, what did he say? Rabbi Yossi suggests exactly he said before, in good matters, he said, a good neighbor is the best. Here he says, a bad neighbor, Shachen Ra, is a bad neighbor. Shachen Ra, stay away from him. This way you don't fall into his trap. And Rabbi Shimon. Who is Rabbi Shimon? Let's not forget, that's Rabbi Shimon ben Netanel, the fourth disciple of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. And he said, you know what is the worst thing to do in life? Halove ve'eno meshalem. If a person borrows money and does not repay, that's the worst. Our sages said if a person does not repay what he had borrowed, he will not see the face of God. It's enough, right? You know why? When you borrow money from people, it's like if you borrow from God himself. Shene'emar, as it says in the Bible, in Tehillim, lo verasha' velo yeshalem. A person who borrows and does not pay is a wicked man. Tzaddik honen venoten. But a righteous man is always gracious and he gives. Which means, I think I could suggest also from this that even though there are many people who are wicked enough not to repay what they have borrowed, but that doesn't mean one should stop from giving money, giving a loan to people. People are in need. Our sages said to give a loan to someone is greater mitzvah than even the charity itself. It's no greater charity than that. So you might say, well, they don't pay, so why should I give? A tzaddik should give anyway. And have faith that maybe the money will come back one day. I don't want to give examples from this because I might involve myself. All right? So Rabbi Elazar, Who is Rabbi Elazar here? Let's not confuse with Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah or Rabbi Elazar of the third generation of the sages of the Talmud. This is Rabbi Elazar ben Arach, the fifth disciple of Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai. What is the worst way that one should stay away from? He says, levra, a bad heart. Exactly the opposite of what he said before. A bad heart means jealousy, means hatred, means haughtiness, all the worst trait of characters that you could have. And therefore, as he said in Good Matters, when Rabbi Yochanan said, I find that the words of Elazar ben Arach better than all the others, he says the same thing here. He says, רואה אני את דברי אלעזר בן ערך מדבריכם, שבכלל דבריו דבריכם. He says, I consider that the words of Elazar ben Arach, to have a bad heart, is the worst kind of thing to have in life, because everything that you said is included in his words, right? You have a bad heart, that means, I'm talking about character, of course. Then you have all the worst things, like a bad eye, ayn hara. You have you have a bad heart, then you find everything that is good, you find it bad. So stay away from all this. Hem Ameru, in Mishnah number 15, we are going to learn in number 15, which we will do, God willing, tomorrow. We will learn also the philosophy of those great people that we mentioned, such as Rabbi Eliezer, what did he say? And Rabbi Yehoshua, what did he say? And so forth. For now, we say to you, we wish you a good day, and may God bless you with health and long life. Amen.